Are you tired of feeling burned out? I know I used to feel burned out all the time. And then I discovered some tips, tools, and strategies to go from burned out to balanced, beautiful, and abundant. I will be sharing them on this show, as well as interviewing experts that are going to help you transform from exhausted to energized and stressed out to serene. If you're ready to break free from the burnout for good, let's jump into the show. Welcome, everyone, to the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant podcast. I am your host, Rebecca Whitman, taking you from burned out and overwhelmed to balanced, beautiful, and abundant. Today, we have an amazing guest in the studio. Welcome, Jennifer Patenaude.
Thank you, Rebecca. I'm so excited to be here.
It is so great to meet you, and you are going to share with our audience something that we've actually never really talked about in 4 years, and that is the importance of sleep. So let me tell my audience a little bit about you. Jennifer is a sleep and wellness coach. She helps entrepreneurs and busy executives positively shift their bottom line through sleep. So tell us, Jennifer, how did you get to be a sleep coach? How did that become your niche?
Yes. So I was diagnosed with a couple autoimmune disorders about 17, almost 18 years ago now. And at the time, I had two young kids, full-time job, so didn't really have time to do anything other than just listen to the doctors and take the medications that they prescribed for me. So I adjusted and managed, but I definitely wasn't thriving. Fast forward to January of 2020, and I started studying to become a health coach and suddenly realized, there's like this light at the end of the tunnel. There's something I can do about my own health journey and also to help other people. And excuse me, as I was trying to figure out who it was exactly I wanted to help, whether it was folks with autoimmunity like myself, or I was really interested in brain health and gut health, what I realized the common denominator across all those was the importance of sleep. And it really didn't matter who I was going to be working with or what we are going to be working on. It was pretty evident that we were going to have to start with sleep. It's so foundational to our health. And our culture is a very sleep deprived culture. So that's how I decided to focus on sleep. And so it's become my mission to put people to sleep.
That is wonderful. So there's so many different things, and I know everybody's different, but in general, how many hours of sleep should we be getting a night?
The recommended numbers somewhere between 7 and 9 hours. Obviously, there are some folks who are outliers, so some people can thrive with a little bit less than that, and some people do need a little bit more. But in general, you want to shoot for that 7 to 9 hour mark.
And so many people, like myself, I know it is so bad to look at your phone. Like I've heard the 3-2-1 rule. Don't eat 3 hours before bed. Don't drink 2 hours before bed, and don't look at your phone 1 hour before bed. And in all honesty, I can't do it. Like I am like literally looking at my phone until the second I close my eyes. So what kind of tips do you have for people like me, and I'm sure a lot of other people in the audience that look at their phone as a way to kind of like decompress before they go to sleep?
Yeah. So there's a couple things there, and there has been some research on this, and you've probably heard that blue light from the devices, it disrupts your sleep, and it certainly can. It can disrupt our melatonin production, which helps us to maintain our sleep throughout the night. So that's definitely one factor. But I think for a lot of folks, what could even be having more of an impact on their sleep is what's called sleep displacement. So
Mm.
you get so engrossed in your device, whether it's scrolling through your social media or maybe it's binging a Netflix show, whatever it might be, that you blow past your bedtime or the natural time that your body is ready to fall asleep. And there is such a thing as a second wind.
Yes, I
So,
get that. I get my
yeah.
second wind after I walk my dog. I get so invigorated by like throwing her the ball that I'm like, ah, I'm so excited when I get home from that walk. So
Yeah, and so that can happen too
how do we decompress?
when you're getting so caught up in whatever content that
Yeah.
you're watching. And so you blow past when your body really wants to fall asleep. So your body says, oh, okay, I guess I'm supposed to still be awake. So it becomes more alert. And then it takes your body another however long to wind down again and get ready to sleep. So if you really can't part with the device right before bed, you got to come up with some system. Maybe it's setting an alarm on your device to know that, okay, I really got to shut it off now. And so you got to be a little disciplined there to try to wrench it out of your hands before you blow past that time that your body really wants to go to sleep.
What is an ideal wind down routine, like in a perfect world? Like walk us through step by step. Turn off the
Mhm.
device, stop eating, whatever it is in your opinion, that is your ideal wind down routine.
So it's obviously going to be different for everybody.
Right.
But I think one important piece of it is backing into the routine of when you really need to start. And so the first thing, if you're aiming, let's say you're aiming to get 7 hours of sleep,
Hmm.
and you know that you have to be up at 6 a.m. every day. So you would think, okay, then I need to be in bed at 11.
Hmm.
But that would require 100% sleep efficiency, meaning that your head hits the pillow at 11, boom, you're asleep and you sleep straight through, which is not likely to happen. So, first of all, you got to add in a little cushion of time there to your bedtime. So, let's say you want the 7 hours of sleep, getting up at 6. All right, 10:30, 10:15, you got to be in bed. So, then you want to back in from there. What is it I typically do before bed to get ready for bed? It typically takes me whatever, half an hour to get ready to bed. Whether it's take a shower or wash my face, brush my teeth, that. So back into that. And then you want to add in, okay, so when do I need to finish eating? And here, I mean, I get the 3 hour rule. That's not going to work for everybody. So, you want to give yourself as much cushion as possible between when you eat and when you have to go to bed. Um, and also with drinking so that you're not necessarily having to get up to use the bathroom. But I think probably the bigger thing is just starting to calm your body and to let your body know that it's time to start winding down and get ready. And so, some great things to do there is lower the lights in the house, keep the lights dim. Make sure that when you are going into your bedroom space, that the ambient room temperature is on the cooler side because that's a cue to the body that it's time to sleep because our core body temperature naturally dips in the evening.
Hmm.
So light and temperature are two of the biggest signals for our sleep-wake cycle.
Are you tired of endless diets and frustrating results? I know I was, and I didn't want to count calories, count macros, and I definitely didn't want to jab myself in the stomach with a needle to get the benefits of GLP-1. I'm so grateful I discovered the body transformation system. I have been on this easy to follow supplement program for a month, and I cannot even believe it. I went from 25% to 17% body fat. I haven't been under 20% body fat in my entire adult life. What I love about this system is it's all natural. It helps you regulate appetite, boost your metabolism, and burn fat. No chemicals, no needles, no harsh stimulants, no side effects, just results. All you have to do is go to the show notes to grab your sample. I can't wait for you to get the same results that I'm getting, and let's get lean and strong together. See you back in the show.
And then again, if you can try to minimize your device use at least an hour, so at least 30 minutes before you're going to go to bed.
That's doable, 30 minutes. Now, I love to, part of my da wind down routine is I love watching TV with my husband and drinking a cup of tea or, mushroom hot chocolate. And it's such a wonderful ritual. But then I have to wake up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom.
Mm.
So is that normal? Do most people have to wake up like, past the age of 40, like at least once or twice to go to the bathroom? Or do you tell people like, Tom Ballou, who's a billionaire, he has his own podcast. He's so extreme. Like he doesn't drink anything after 3 p.m. because he doesn't want to have to get up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom. So what is your opinion on that?
So I mentioned that I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, which is Sjogren's syndrome, and one of the hallmark symptoms is dry mouth.
Mm,
So I am drinking water right up until bed. I've got my water right next to my bed. Sometimes I wake in the night and I drink some water. So yes, I'm getting up in the middle of the night to go to use the restroom. I just can't avoid it. And so if you are somebody who can stop drinking or at least curtail the amount of liquids, a few hours or so before bed, that's great. If you can't avoid it, then you just want to make sure that, say, your sleep environment and your routine prior to bed just prime you so that once you're done using the restroom, you can get back to bed and fall right to sleep again.
hmm.
So as long as it's not a huge disruption
Yeah.
to your sleep, sometimes it's unavoidable.
So if somebody does go to the bathroom in the middle of the night and they can't fall back asleep, what advice do you give them?
Yeah, there are multiple things you can try. There are a number of various breathing exercises that help to calm the nervous system, calm thoughts that might start racing in your head, because now that you're awake and you might start thinking of all the things that you have to do the next day when you wake up, or whatever you didn't get done the previous day, or whatever happens to be worrying you or on your mind. So, breathing exercises for a few minutes are great. There's the 4-7-8 method where you inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and breathe out your mouth for 8 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
That's a favorite of mine. Another thing that you can try, and this may sound odd, but you can actually get back out of bed and repeat what you typically do right before you get into bed. So if that's brush your teeth, wash your face, and it's a signal to your body like, oh, it's time to sleep. And then you can try getting back into bed and see if that helps. If you find that you are lying there awake for longer than 20, 30 minutes, you actually do want to get out of bed and do some type of calming, relaxing activity. Our brains are super associative, and we only want our brains to associate bed with sleep and sex. We don't want it to associate with lying there, ruminating, and stressing out about stuff. So if you get out of bed, read a book, listen to music, listen to a meditation app, knit, whatever it is that you find to be relaxing. And then once you start to feel tired, then get back in bed.
What do you think about the yoga nidra type meditation that is supposed to really be a nice way to relax yourself when you can't fall asleep?
I have heard some great things about it. I haven't tried it personally, but I've definitely heard that that is effective for a lot of people.
Great. And what about supplements? Which supplements do you recommend? I know I've heard that magnesium, melatonin, different
Mm,
supplements are good for calming the mind before you go to sleep. Do you have any supplements that you like to recommend?
mhm. I definitely am a big fan of magnesium. The majority of us are deficient, and we need it for so many processes in the bodies, not just for sleep. So I am a big
Which kind of
proponent.
magnesium? Because there's so many different variants of it.
Yeah, I actually use magnesium breakthrough by from Bioptimizers.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And I like that because it's actually has 7 different forms of magnesium all in one supplement.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's the one that I personally take, and I have found recommended by a number of folks in the wellness space. Um, but there are, several high quality magnesium supplements out there. Just don't get them on Amazon. Don't get supplements on Amazon. You don't know what you're going to get. Uh, Magnesium, that's a little controversial in the sleep space as to whether people should supplement with magnesium to help with their sleep. Some folks say no, you should not, and others say yeah, and in fact, high dosing is okay. So I think and some folks take it and swear by it, and others say that they can't handle it. So, um, that one is, I would definitely probably talk to a medical provider before doing that. But what I will say is situational supplementation of magnesium is great. So, for instance, if you're traveling and crossing time zones, it can be very helpful for you to adjust, for your body to adjust to a new time zone. Or for, say, shift workers and things like of that nature. I don't know that it's necessarily helpful for everybody on a regular basis.
And when should we stop drinking caffeine?
Again, that's a little bit individualized, depending upon how your body metabolizes caffeine. But I know you'll often hear a general rule, nothing after 2 p.m. Some folks really shouldn't be having caffeine after noon or
Mm-hmm.
even a little bit earlier, just because the half-life of caffeine can stay in your body
Mm-hmm.
for 6, 8 hours after you've done having it. So, meaning you could be going to sleep with still half the amount of caffeine that you had earlier in the day in your system. Um, and too much can be, taxing on our adrenals, and so we just want to be careful of that as
Yeah.
well.
So this has been a great interview. Thanks everyone for listening. I know you're going to want to stay in touch with Jennifer. Where can they find you online?
They can find me at Jennifer Eve, EVE wellness.com.
All right, jenniferevewellness.com. And if you had a billboard with one sentence that could give people advice, what would it say?
Sleep more. Your health literally depends on it.
Love it. Well, everyone, thank you for listening to the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant show, where we take you from burned out and overwhelmed to balanced, beautiful, and abundant. I am your host, Rebecca Whitman, and until we meet again, keep your vibe high and magnetize. Bye, everyone. Thank you for listening to another amazing episode of the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant show. I hope you found great advice and actionable tips. Don't forget to share this episode with a friend. And if you loved it, rate, review, and subscribe. We are so excited to watch you transform from burned out to blissed out as you continue with us on this transformation journey. Until next time, keep your vibe high and magnetize. Imagine looking back at the end of 2025 and saying the best decision I ever made in the entire year was going to the Mindset Manifestation Retreat in Playa del Carmen, Mexico with Rebecca. Not only will we set intentions, goals, and strategies for your new year, we will give you 21 customized affirmations, a vision board, a power word, a playlist, and every tool you need to get all 7 pillars of your life to a level 10 and to crush your goals in 2025. In addition to all the goal setting and masterminding, you'll get to relax in a luxury spa, do yoga, and have a sound bath, all at a beautiful retreat, an amazing Playa del Carmen, Mexico. And if you can't make it all the way to Mexico, which I know you want to do, and I can't wait to see you in Mexico, I'm having a little mini version of that on December 29th. It is a free training I do every year for my community called the New Year, New You workshop, where you will get 21 customized affirmations to make sure that 2025 is your best year ever. Go to the show notes to learn more. I'll see you at the retreat.